Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, I've had a few messages asking me how to do the mystery braid. So it's basically braided leather, but it's got no open ends, so it's completely sealed. So, because I love you all, and I think you're all amazing, I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you into the secret. But you've heard of the magic circle, and if magicians tell the secrets, they can get kicked out of it. Well, I run the risk of getting kicked out of the leather triangle. So, don't worry about the size. I've only done it so it's easier to see when I'm doing the video. Don't worry about the size. Say that to anyone. So, piece of leather, and I've made 2 cuts in it. Now, either end, the cuts don't go all the way through, they do stop. So, to all intents and purposes, it's still one piece of leather. Now, here's the amazing part. So, let's start. Obviously, this isn't leather, this is paracord, but just for somebody or anybody who hasn't plaited before, it's very easy to do. You start with your 3 cords, your outside comes over and into the middle, like so. And then your outside comes over and into the middle, like so. And then you just keep doing that as you go. Always bring the outside into the middle, alternatively. And you end up with a braid. Now, obviously, it's a bit hard for me to do it upside down, so do it a bit different. With leather, I always start with the middle one and go over the top, because with leather and the thickness, and because it's not as supple as something like paracord, just put a braid in. A bit of opera singing there for you. With paracord, if you go the middle over the top first, you don't get what I'm about to show you. Because with leather, with it being a bit thick, you've got to remember all these ups and downs and under and overs, they all stand out like a sore thumb. And if you can see there, that first one when it goes under, with leather, you end up with like a dint. And when it's like a bracelet, something like that, it don't look nice, and it can also be quite irritating because it can be a point what rubs. So, when we're doing it with leather, I usually go middle, and for your first one from the middle, go over the top. And then what's going to happen is it will lie smooth. So you go over the top, and you go under, you go under and over and under and over. Yeah, bit of singing for you on a Saturday. Can't be bad. It's not Sunday, so it's not church singing. Praise the Lord! Just like that. So that's just a quick demonstration of how to braid. Now, obviously, I'm braiding these, and it's 3 open ends. Just like you'd braid rope or hair or anything crazy like that. So here we're going to go. Now, this is crazy horse leather. It's quite nice, it's quite supple. And I've done it, as I said previously, I've done it quite chunky so that it's easy to see. So, what you're going to do is, you've got to remember 2 numbers, 4 and 2. So you're going to start braiding. Now I'll show you very quickly. You see, if you go under like that, go over, I'll just do that one and pull it tight. You see how that sits at the top there? You end up with that delve there. And then while someone's wearing it, it can become quite like a point what will rub and irritate, and it also looks dirty. Dirty Phil. So what I do to start off is middle one over the top of the outside becomes the middle, and then middle one over the top like that, and then alternate like that. And that's how we're going to get started. So now that I've shown you how we're going to get started, just undo it. So like I said, you got to remember 4 and 2. So for every 4 moves, we're gonna untangle the bottom, and then we'll do 2, untangle, and that'll be 1 set. Once you've done that 1 set where you've done the 4 untangle, the 2 untangle, that braid will be locked in then, and it won't come out. So let me show you the magic. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've had 4 moves. Now, can you see what that tail wants to do? That tail, if I just pull like that, wants to come through here naturally. Yeah? And that's the untangle. So then we go another 2, 1, 2, and then we pull it, and it naturally wants to come through here. Like that. Now, if I just relax it, you'll see that there we've got the starting of a braid. And now it's locked in. It's a little bit messy because it's only one, and I don't want to undo it to show you completely because it makes doing the next bit harder. So what we're going to do now is just rinse and repeat. So outside, under, outside, under. It might look a little bit confusing, but trust me, you'll get the hang of it. There's 1 and 2, outside, under, 3, outside, under, 4. Now, obviously, as you start getting more and more on, it gets tighter, but if you just bring it down, it automatically wants to go through there like that. That was your 4. And now we go 1, 2, yeah. And then if we bring it, and it naturally wants to come through here, he says, like that. So I've now got 2 braids on there. I know it looks a bit messy, but we've now got 2 braids on there. So now the secret is we want to even that braid. Let's see if we can make it look a little bit nicer, just very quickly. There we go. You got 2 braids there, and you want to even it out. So all you do is you turn it round, and you go to the opposite end of what you started from, and just loosely, just braid. When you do it this way, you don't have to undo the tangles, because all you're really doing is just shuffling the slack along the braid. So I just work my way along, and it's just sort of feeding that extra that was at the end back into the braid. So you see it's already loosened off. So then all we do again is turn it around, and I'm back to where I started before, and then we just braid it. And as we're doing this, we're constantly working in the extra, the leftover that wasn't in the actual main braid itself. And you just keep slacking it off, and it doesn't really matter how many times that you rotate it, because eventually you'll end up with quite an even braid. Now, that's not perfect. It's a bit hard because I'm trying to do it so I can show you as best as I can, and at the same time end up with an half-decent product. But it's quite an easy thing to do, and it's scalable as well. So you could do a full-size belt, or some saddlery braiding, or anything like that. So the next part, what we do is we call flattening the braid, which just sets it. But it looks quite vigorous, but you also need to be a bit careful on how you do it. So to flatten the braid, all we're going to do is, once I've just wet a little bit of slack in there like that, so you see it now at the minute, it's kind of there, but it's a little bit janky, it's a little bit stood off. So what you do is grab both ends and give it a pull, and take it to the edge of a bench, and just rub the inside of it like that. And what that does is it just sets it. Don't go too aggressive because you don't want to damage the leather. And there you go. So there's your mystery braid. You've got 2 sealed ends with braids in the middle. You could put a snap on that, and you've got a mystery braid bracelet. So there you go. That's how you do your mystery braid. For all those lovely people, there weren't that many. I think there was only 3 or 4 people had messaged me over the last couple of weeks, just asking how to do it. But again, it's like with everything, practice makes perfect. So, if you'd like a strip of Crazy Horse to practice or to give it a go, come and see me at Cottingham Market on a Thursday, and I'll make sure I have some strips with me, and you can have a strip for free. And go home and give it a go. Happy days.